Good morning, everyone. Uh, it is quite a bit warmer here now. Got a lot of rain yesterday evening, so everything's wet, but it's getting so green. It looks beautiful. Um, I think my body's finally adapting to all the iron. And we had some other exciting news. We got the results of our testing back, and a very high probability we're having a little girl. So we're going to end up with 4 girls and 1 boy here when it's all said and done. So we're pretty excited about that. Half the kids were excited, half the kids were not. Let's see. I'm trying to think of what else. We're almost to 25 subscribers, which is awesome because that means we're almost halfway to being able to go live, and I'm really excited about that. So we don't have to tape and then upload anymore. But until then, that's what we'll keep doing. Today I wanted to talk about thinking outside the box. If you probably went to regular school, you were probably indoctrinated into not thinking outside the box, doing things in this way, and if you did it, you got praised, and if you didn't, then you got in trouble. And that leads us into adulthood and jobs, where, we do more and we kill ourselves, and we show up even on days we're not supposed to. We'll get that little bit of praise, but it doesn't necessarily equate to living. And I was reminded recently about how easy it is to think outside the box, and yet how easy it is to fall back into that old logic and thinking of, I have to do it this way. I can only do it this way. And if you look at my, I did a video on should, and if you're using the word have and or should, then you are probably falling into some habitual programming thinking that it needs to be done this way. And I'm really lucky that I have amazing people in my life that will say, you don't have to do it that way. And I'll be like, I don't. Oh my gosh, I don't. One instance was I really wanted 2 good friends to be doulas, and it didn't feel right having to pick. And the one I contacted first, she's like, well, just ask her and we could do it together, and it's, just see what happens. And I'm like, I don't know why I didn't think that. I was probably a little bit of limitations on money and stuff like that. But again, just the thinking, I can only have 1 doula, and that's it. And so it just took somebody pointing out to me, hey, why not ask both of us? They're super good friends. I'm friends with them. Why not? And what's the worst that's going to happen is the answer is no. And I'm already assuming it's no. And it's really odd because as a child, I can remember having that epiphany. I can remember wanting a friend to spend the night, or me spend the night at her place, whichever it was. And this was my, the ultimate BFF when I was in elementary school. And really, wanting this to happen. And she just did not want to ask her parents. And I was like, come on. The worst that's going to happen is they're going to say no. And then we're right where we're at now. And it was weird to be 6 and having that kind of epiphany. And yet there's still so many layers of programming that I don't feel, I feel like I have to still do it this way. I can remember when I was at a women's retreat, one of the girls, we were having a circle, and it had been very loud, and she completely turned the rules on their head and was like, I need you to speak softly to me. I don't want it to be loud. I want you to speak softly to me. And I'm like, whoa, we could do this? Like, we can literally rewrite the rules. And it just sometimes takes those little reminders of how much we're still ingrained into the programming and things like that, where, hey, stop. Like, is this program thinking? Is this a should? Is this a have statement? And if it is, why? Like, do I really have to do it that way? Should I really do it that way? Or is it really something where that's what everybody else says and does, but I can just be like, no, I'm going to change that. And then it's okay. And it's still okay that way. You know, there might be a few people that don't like it, but it can still be done that way. So that's really what was coming up in my life the last few days, while my body was adjusting to all this extra iron in it. It just really zaps you. My husband was taking care of all the animals and stuff like that and finishing up our garden space, and it was really hard and frustrating because I wanted to be doing all of those things. I like my time, feeding the pigs and things like that. I'm excited about my garden, but I also was able to recognize and understand that I needed to take care of me. There were, absolute necessary things inside to take care of, and honestly, my older girls are really awesome, and they were taking care of a lot. Still not quite the same as my mom is, 100%. And I'm probably not quite 100%, but I'm close enough. And so right now, like, I'll take my iron pills and, for a couple hours, I'll be kind of and then I'll kind of perk back up, which is much better than I was taking them and, like, completely worthless all day long. Or not worthless, but just out. So if you're struggling with programming right now, or just even in the moment, if you have those things that come into your mind, I should do this, I have to do it this way. Those are like super key words to go, why? And just really think about, does it really need to be done that way? Is it programming or not? And then you'll be able to say, well, do I want to participate in this programming or not? So those are some bigger things that I've been dealing with lately, and I'm hoping that's helpful to other people, because I think it's really easy to fall back into that programming trap where you recognize it for a minute, because that should video was probably only a month, maybe two, I don't know, probably a month ago. And at least that's what it feels like. But it, but here I am reminding myself and reminding everybody else that don't forget. Excuse me. Don't forget about the programming. So, and that's the routine stuff that our ego and our brain is just going, we have to do it this way. And then you need to step back and go, but why? Why do I have to do it that way? Why should I do it that way? And the more we can ask ourselves those questions, I think the closer we become to our more genuine and authentic selves, the more we respond authentically. And genuinely, the happier we are, because when we're doing should or have things, a lot of times it fights our own internal resonance, what our gut is telling us to do. And then you're just kind of icky, like you're doing it because you should, but you don't really want to be doing it that way. It's something I've learned in homeschooling my kids. I'm not going to homeschool like anybody else does. I see these beautifully regimented people that, it very much looks like school at home. They do all the subjects every day before they go out. or they make sure they get them all done before there's play and stuff like that. And that's just not me. There are days we do all the subjects, and there's days we do math and reading. They're still learning. I really, today, my second daughter and I are going to watch this hot air balloon movie on Amazon that looked really interesting. Um, and I watched some of it yesterday, and she got really upset with me because I watched it without her. And then I'm already thinking, like, okay, well, I could have her look up, like, how does a hot air balloon work, and how have they changed since this movie, the time period it took place. And that's not a typical lesson. It's not even sometimes how, like, usually I'll have things a little bit more planned out, but here I am on the fly just doing it because I'm pregnant with a number 5, still not 100%. It is what it is. But I think when we start asking ourselves or evaluating those should have questions, then we go, why do I have to do it that way? Why should I do it that way? Let me know what you think in the comments. Share this video if you can. It'd be great to get up to 50 subscribers and be able to go live. I'm not even sure how all that works. Maybe it's something I don't actually want. But I'd love to, like, plan on a day where everybody that's subscribing, we could all kind of get together and try to, have a moment together or whatever. And maybe YouTube's not the best platform for that. I don't know. I see a lot of people using Instagram, and I just can't get into that for whatever reason. I don't know why. So, anyway, let me know your thoughts on have and should in the comments, and have a wonderful day.